The press conference for UFC 326 just took place with Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, Reiner de Ritter, Kyle Barajo, Drew Dober, Michael Johnson, Bruno Ferreira, Gregory Rodriguez, and Rob Font and Paul Rosas Jr. And I can confidently say this was one of, if not the best press conference I've ever seen in my life. This is up there with like UFC 205, up there with 229 with Conor Habib. This is one of the greatest press conferences of all time. Chiwiwi's Paul Rosas Jr. flies in from the ceiling with the strap, with the harness strapped to his chin. They set him down. Rob Font grabs his chin, and they get into a scuffle in the middle of the fucking press conference. It was insane. I don't have the energy to continue that. It was another run-of-the-mill press conference, pretty boring shit. They didn't talk about shit for the entirety of the press conference, but I guess I can give you a rundown of it. The reporters get off of asking the dumbest questions ever. They ask questions that that they ask during the media day. So they're asking Max and Charles. Max said, the BMF thing for him to do would be to go out and submit you. What do you think about that? And Charles is just like, I'm confident that I won't get submitted. That's it. They ask Max, Charles is a BMF and he can walk forward and finish you. And Max is like, we're going to fight tonight, brother. Same shit. Same old shit. The press conferences are not distinguishable at all. The last good presser we've had, I couldn't even tell you what it was. 322 was cool, but it was still the same shit. I don't know the last good presser we've had, but they're all the same. The biggest highlight of it, and probably the highlight of the year, is that the White House card will be announced Saturday night. Makes absolute sense. I'm assuming nobody would argue with that. It makes sense. You announce that now, so then you bring more eyes to the numbered event, get more people to tune in. They're probably going to announce it from the transition from the prelim main event onto the main card, like how they announced the 324 at 324 when they did the whole Paramount introduction. And now on Paramount, and they did that whole little trailer or whatever. You would assume that they would do that for the White House. It only having 6 fights on it. What the actual fuck? 6 fights for the White House is insane. Especially knowing that they're only going to have 2 or 3 title fights on the card. And one of them is Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes. We know that's getting booked for the White House. We know it is. Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes is 1,000% getting booked on the White House. So then you think, what other Americans are we going to have? Bo Nickel is probably going to be. It's a big propaganda fest. They're probably going to have the most American people they can find. So Bo Nickel or Colby Covington or a fighter like that is going to be probably the opener for 6 fights. And one of them is John Jones, Alex Pereira. We're assuming that one of them is an Alex Pereira fight with John Jones or Cyril Gane or I guess Tom Aspinall now. I don't know, but that, be tuned in for Saturday night. White House main event or White House card being announced along with Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway. That's good. But more of the highlights. Chiwiwi's is getting cheers. I call him Paul Rosas. I know his name is Raul Rosas Jr. I call him Paul Rosas. Dana White is getting asked about how he feels about RAF and the armament situation. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I pay myself attention. I don't care about anybody else. Sure, Dana. I'm so sure. He gets asked about Tom Aspinall signing with Eddie Hearn. And he's like, I don't have a fucking problem with Tom. Okay, I don't have a problem with Tom. We did deal. TLOTs was these guys as managers, and we did just fine. I think we'll be okay. Dana White was the highlight of the presser. Wow. But then they're asking the same fucking standard stock questions. The only good question I genuinely heard, I watched this entire thing. The most genuine question I heard, I think, was from a woman. The Spanish lady who actually asked decent questions, the Latina lady, she's beautiful, but she asked, how do the fighting nerds, or how does Kyle Barajo prepare for his fights, or like what's his mindset now that all of the fighting nerds have lost and their stock kind of dropped. She asked one of those type of questions. I think it was her. But that was the best question of the entire presser. But otherwise, it was a pretty standard stock, shitty press conference. Nothing happened. I wish I could do that. I wish I had the energy to give you that Paul Rosas flew in from the sky and Rob Font grabbed his fucking chin and threw it across the room and they started fighting and Randy Ritter melted on top of Kyle Braujo, but I can't give that to you. It was a shit press conference. The face-offs were telling, though. Actually telling. I shit you not, I'm not even joking. Rob Font looked disgusted when he was looking at Paul Rosas. When they faced off, he was looking at him like, genuinely looked disgusted by Paul Rosas' face. Another big tell was Kyle Braujo and Rainer de Ritter. I thought Kyle was a 6'2". I said in my predictions that he was 6'2 and a half, 6'3". Him and Rainer de Ritter are the same height, if not. Rainer might have a half of an inch on him. It's not like he's mogging Kyle at all, which is good for Kyle. And Max Charles is slightly taller than Max, but he's clearly more filled. So when I saw that, it was kind of making me question my decision. Is Max really a 45er that just maybe he should go back to 45? I don't know. I'm not going to change my pick, but Charles looks more filled and he was a little bigger than Max, which one would assume. But, yeah, man, pretty shit press conference. I need a Conor McGregor press conference. I need a Colby Covington press conference. I need one of those. If UFC doesn't put Colby Covington on a pay-per-view and if he fights again, they're fucking stupid. I need some type of controversy. I need something to happen at a press conference for once. So when I make these videos, I actually have joy in my eyes and I don't have to come up here and not have shit to talk about. But we're going to find out Saturday night. Y'all have a great night. I'll see y'all in the next one. Like the video and subscribe.